Hi, folks. Dr. Santana from Oahu Holistic Medicine. And let me tell you, in this video, I'm going to show you what it's like to get on board with us and to start working with us so that you kind of know what the process looks like, what to expect. So let me share the screen here. All right, let's go into it. So what it looks like to become a patient, deciding and the onboarding process and what to expect, right? So you know exactly what you're getting into before you get into it. So most clinics, when you go to most modern medical clinics, they kind of embrace the turn and burn approach, right? Where you have 5 minutes with the doctor, you sit, you wait around, they come in, what's going on? Take your blood pressure, or actually the PA would probably take your blood pressure. Doctor comes in for 3 minutes, tells you what's going on, leaves, and then that's the whole thing. Endless prescribing of medicine, the referral runaround where you go back and forth from practitioner to practitioner. Patients don't really get educated in the process of being in the clinic. Patients don't really understand the nature, sorry about that typo, of their predicament and why they need to do what they need to do to get on the other side of their predicament to where they're not so much hindered by it anymore. Expectations, what are reasonable expectations to have for your condition? How long is it going to take? How much treatment are you going to need? How much money you're going to have to spend? How much time are you going to have to spend? How much are you going to have to call out of work? Things like that. And what signs of toxicity from medications, herbs, supplements that you're on, and when to approach your doctor about changing it, saying, hey, I think something's off. What can we do? What's the workaround here? And having to schedule another appointment anytime you have a question with your doctor. You can't necessarily just always call them up or email them. There comes a point where if you ask too many questions to your practitioner, they're going to ask you to come in and pay their fee for another hour of their time, which is understandable. We live in a society where, we have to pay for medicine. So it is what it is. But I'm just saying that the combination of all of these things tend to be a problem. And we have built our humble little answer to that problem. So we built our Oahu Holistic Medicine is the name of our clinic, and it combines more face time with doctors, more time to ask questions, advanced and ongoing comprehensive diagnostics, meaning weekly, in the first time you come in, we'll do some diagnostics and we'll do some blood work within the first week or month of you being in there. And then we'll do some follow-up blood work and more follow-up diagnostics and more follow-up diagnostics. Every time you come into the clinic, we're diagnosing and looking again at what's going on to make sure that we have the right diagnosis, to make sure that our treatments are going to work. We have constancy of treatments, right? You need to also come in enough times in a row that you get the desired result. It'd be like going to the gym once and expecting to get jacked or to lose 15 pounds. Like, it's not necessarily going to happen just from doing it one time. And we combine all the modalities of naturopathic medicine and acupuncture into our treatments. And there's other videos on our website that are going to talk a little bit more about what each of those include. It's kind of a big conversation to unpack right now. But again, diagnosis is 9/10 of the treatment. So sometimes sometimes we'll be working with a patient after 6 months of working with them or a year of working. We'll go, I think that's the thing, right? We got to do our like detective thing, and 5 minutes just isn't enough time to do that. It's an unrealistic expectation of us to have as patients to our doctors, and it's an unrealistic thing for our doctors to be able to deliver on successfully and for patients to not be upset about it. So the patient journey with us looks like this. You come in, we diagnose, right? We do testing in office, or we'll send you out to a lab to do some testing, which usually doesn't take more than an hour. We'll refer you to a specialist, another specialist, maybe somebody that we know, or another one of your specialists, a general practitioner, or a oncologist, or a urologist, or somebody who's more specialized in a particular organ system, if we think that's important for you to do. Well, we're not afraid to refer out. We're not afraid to work with modern medical technologies as well, as long as it's safe and on the up and up. So maybe we'll refer you out to doctors or specialists, but with our advanced system of diagnosis and the other advanced system of diagnosis that exist in the world, we'll come together with all that. We'll talk with you and we'll find a correct diagnosis. Then we're going to look at the condition, and we're going to, build for you and with you condition arresting and generative protocols, meaning if your condition is worsening, we want to stop it from worsening, and we want to create a system of health that is generative, where the day to day, we're no longer fighting back the sea. We're no longer stopping the boulder from rolling down the hill. We're actually gaining progress in our health and starting to feel younger and starting to feel more invigorated and more lively. And we do that using generative and generative and regenerative protocols to obviously stop things from getting worse and going back the other way. And many of these have been around for decades, hundreds of years, or even thousands of years. Lifestyle leverage. So we want to use the boring, regular stuff that you're already doing to leverage your health to change. We don't want to add so much stuff that we overwhelm your life and it becomes a full-time job. We want you to modulate what you're already doing so that you get the most out of it, and maybe add a couple things here and there as an afterthought. We want you to eat the foods that you need to eat, and we'll help you figure out what those things are. Take the herbs and supplements that you need. I know it's so confusing out there to figure out what vitamins I need to be in, what herbs I need to take, and all that stuff. We'll help you navigate that whole thing. Testing, retesting, what tests do you need, what to ask your general practitioners for, what can we test you for. We'll help you sort through that as well. You want to have regular acupuncture, and maybe you schedule a massage treatment out in the world, regular naturopathic visits. You need a certain amount of regularity. So we want to help put into your life regularity so that as the calendar ticks away and you look back in a year, you're like, wow, I did all that. Rather than being like, the kind of the beginner aspect of starting a new thing, we're all guilty of this, myself included, is like, I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to be the strongest guy in the world. And then after 3 weeks, you fall off, right? We want to avoid that. We want to go past that 3-day mark, past that 3-week mark, and basically, it could be as simple as just like having a pill container so you don't forget what doses you took, or putting your herbs next to the coffee pot. So every morning when you go to make your coffee, you see the herbs there and you remember to take them, or you see your pill container there so you can see what doses you're missing. Okay. It's very straightforward. Regularity, regularity, regularity. We want regularity. We want boring. We want the body to just grow low and slow in the way that it needs to go, right? Like kind of like planting a garden. So then we go into the regenerative phase where your body starts to heal. The conditions that were running out of control, hopefully, will be abating, and your health will start to be regenerating. You'll start to feel mind, body, spirit, all of that starts to be clicking on all cylinders. You start to feel younger, more clear-headed, more even temperament, clarity of mind, clarity of feeling like your body is clear, right? Feeling like your saliva is clear, feeling like your joints move nice and clearly without obstruction. We want that whole clarity to kind of permeate the wholeness of your being. I know that sounds a little abstract, but I can assure you it's not. It can also be very tangible, very material as well. And then, so we go from there, and then if you decide that you want to pursue your health further and learn more advanced stuff, you can always do that. You can always, maybe you want to go to school to become a health professional afterwards, or maybe you want to go more into learning. I put alchemy there as a funny word, but going into learning more about martial arts, or more about meditation or yoga or retreats or kinesiology or nutrition or any of that other stuff. Maybe you want to go on that part of that journey, and that's great. And some of that obviously you can do with us. Some of that you go out in the world and do, and find your other teachers, or whomever it is that you want to study with. And that's kind of a loose idea of the patient journey. And now the time frame of this, I didn't put a time frame on the bottom because this can be correct diagnosis. Again, like I had said, we want to do in the first 5 minutes of you being in here, right? But we also understand that it takes time, and maybe that a lot of this is rinse and repeat. A lot of this is rinse and repeat. So once we get this lifestyle leverage, that's actually years, decades of things that you'll do over and over again. So there's many cycles inside of this. This is being the large cycle, and then it repeats itself many times inside. And we have, if you decide that you want to work with us, you decide we're the people for you, you've been looking for us, you want to work with us, whatever. This is kind of, or as you go through the decision process, this is what it looks like. You call us, you ask us, or maybe send us an email about what's going on, and we'll reach out to you and follow up, or we schedule a time to follow up. We dig deeper into your case. We see if we're a good fit for each other, see if maybe you're looking for us, we're looking for you. And if not, then that's fine. And we'll just do our best to recommend you to somebody who can help you. We want to help everybody, but we understand that we can't help everybody in our clinic. It's just an unfortunate reality. But We want to help you. We want to help everybody. So come on, tell us your story. Tell us what's going on. We'll do our best to listen as deeply as we possibly can and get you to go where you need to go. If that's with us, that's great. And then we'll get your case file. We'll look at your intake forms with other practitioners, your radiology imaging, blood works, all that stuff. We'll look at it. We'll devise a plan. We'll price it out for you. We'll tell you what we think it's going to cost to get you out of the predicament that you're in, honestly, because many times people call us on the phone. They say, how much is an appointment? Which I think people really want to know when they call us, how much is it going to take, how much is it going to cost of my time, energy, focus, and attention to fix the situation so I don't have to deal with this anymore. That I think is the real question. So we want to answer that question for you. How much time are you going to have to put in? How much money you're going to have to put in? Energy, attention, focus, effort, all of that. How much are you willing to put in? We'll have that discussion with you and help you figure that out and get clear about that so there's no surprises. We don't want you to be surprised with bills. We don't want you to be surprised with having to buy supplements. We don't want there to be any surprise. We want it to be all transparent upfront about what needs to happen to help you make the decision. You decide, are we the people who can help you or not? We can give you all the information about us and who we are. Ultimately, the decision is totally up to you, and we respect it either way. We understand we can't work with everybody, and that's fine. It's totally fine. First appointments, you come into the office. In person, we talk about steps. We start maybe doing some treatment, some diagnosis, or outside referrals. Again, like I said, if they were not a good fit for each other. Usually people, when we start talking together and pricing things out and figuring out what is unique to your situation, how we can get you out of your predicament, usually people know within about 10 days whether or not it's for them. If people, I think you're either usually a hard yes, I'm in, I love it. Or maybe you're on the fence, maybe you just need more information to be able to make a decision, or you're a no, and you're like, nope, it's not for me, don't have the money, don't want to do it, whatever the reason is, and that's fine as well. And that's it. So I hope that's helpful for you. Thank you so much for your time and your attention, and looking forward to hopefully meeting you at some point. Reach out, ask us any questions if this wasn't clear, or maybe there's something I didn't touch on. This is one of the early drafts of this particular video. So again, there's always more clarity that we can cultivate with us, the practitioners, with you, the patients. We want to make that journey and that experience more clear for everybody. And we know there's a better way to go about it than is kind of the norm out in the world right now. And we want to be part of that solution. And we need you to help us. So anyway, thank you so much for your time and looking forward to meeting. Bye-bye.